President Julio, FINA Bureau members, Cornell, water polo colleagues and old friends. I'm very surprised to be here. I thought I'd got water polo out of my system, but I was sitting with Cornell in Sochi at the IOC session, and the IOC was talking about its reform agenda for 2020, and his brain was working overtime, and he told me then, and he said, oh, we're having a water polo conference and I want you to come. So that's the reason I'm here today. And this is probably also it's certainly my first and probably my last occasion where I will be a moderator. And I was trying to pick up a few tips from Rick, who's obviously an expert. This morning we've heard some very interesting explanations as to how some other sports have made it, and some other sports that are trying to make it. The next panel is comprised of some of our great champions, as you heard from Lars. Their detailed CVs are in the excellent program that you have, and they will be, after I finish my remarks, they will be each making a presentation. I think Sandro will be making a more longer presentation with a video, and then I will ask a couple of questions, and then we hope that we will have a bit longer time than in the other presentations to ask questions. Our first champion is really a great champion, Brenda Villa, who anyone who knows anything about women's water polo knows Brenda. She has an amazing record in that the 4 editions of the Olympic Games where women have taken part, she won a medal in all 4 of them and was captain of the winning team in London on her 4th Olympic Games. So it's an amazing record. She has a degree in political science, and she's coached and played in Sicily as well as in America. Our second star is Joelle Beijing, who has been, I've read that she's been very active in the promotion of women's water polo, but she was for 16 years a member of the Canadian team. She won 2 bronze medals in World Championships in 2001 and 2005, as well as 5th place in Sydney 2000, the first time the women was played on the Olympic program after 100 long years. Our third star, who I met yesterday, is Slobodan Nikic, or Boban is his nickname, as he explained to me. And he's one of Serbia's greatest players. He's won a whole host of medals that you'll see in the program. He won a silver in Athens 2004 and a bronze in London 2012, but won gold in 2005 and 2009 World Championships and many other medals. Interestingly, he's played in a very wide number of countries, so he's got a very broad experience, and I encourage you to ask him some questions about the comparative differences between the countries of Serbia, Greece, Italy, and most recently in Turkey for the Galatasaray club. And our fourth champion is a real champion in both on the side of the pool and in the pool. He's well known to all of us, Sandro Campagna. He's one of the great figures of our sport. He won Olympic gold medal in Barcelona in 1992, one of the most famous matches ever played, and the World Championships in his beloved Rome in 1994. He's also now become one of the world's best coaches and coaching both Italy and Greece. Italy to a gold medal in Shanghai in 2011 and silver in London 2012. Sandro, as I said before, has a more detailed presentation for us about some of the things that could be done in relation to the presentation of water polo. Before introducing these four champions, I wish to make some initial remarks. This may be my only opportunity to do so to the water polo fraternity at large. Much of what has been talked about in the Olympic world is modernisation, appeal to the youth, fun, global appeal. The IOC has demonstrated its resolve by adding many new X-game type events to the Olympic Winter Games in Sochi, just concluded. These events were extremely popular. The IOC has also added as demonstration sports 4 new events for the Olympic Youth Games in Nanjing: rock climbing, roller sports, skateboarding and wushu. I'm telling you that in the presence of a member of the IOC Program Commission, Mr. Samram Sami, our dear friend from South Africa, who knows much more about these subjects than I do, but I know that water polo regards him as a friend at court. We can see from the excellent program on pages 8 and 9 the many changes made to water polo rules over 100 years. These rules, step by step, have made the game better. But in my humble submission to you, there is much more now that we need to do in relation to the way the world is going in sport and what you have seen already today. Cornell did not wish this conference to bog down too much in a discussion about the rules, but we heard today how in all of the sports covered by the presenters that rule changes have made big differences in their sports. I'll be very interested to get the slides to recount the changes that were made in each of these sports. I know from past experience, and I know from reports, that the TWPC is constantly discussing changes, and everyone has their favourite changes that they would like to make. I'm sure that those changes will be carefully considered in the overall review which this process, including the creation of the Innovation Committee, is contemplating. The reports which the IOC receive on the program have the tendency, is my assessment, to underestimate the number of countries playing water polo at a high level. I think we need to consider making the continental championships part of the Olympic qualification events, as we heard and saw on the slides that beach volleyball does. Finally, I want to leave you with, before we hear from our athletes, I want to leave you with one thought. If Rupert Murdoch or Disney World or Red Bull or NBC came to you and said, I'm looking for a new sport for my additional content requirements. I want a sport that is exciting, has good athletes, male and female, already has an established history and a global penetration. It would also be a big plus if that sport was on the Olympic program. That is obviously what FINA has, and it's obviously what we have. Now, after that little sermon, I would now like to invite Brenda to make the first presentation on the subject for which the athletes are charged to talk, and that is as to how we can make our sport stronger and more attractive. Brenda, the floor is yours.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon, everyone. I just first want to start off by saying it's an honor and a pleasure to be in a room with so many people that love water polo as much as I do. When I was approached to come here and speak about my experiences or what I think we can do to help make our sport stronger and help it grow, 3 things come to mind in no particular order. One of them is to increase our fan participation. And what I mean by that is we have such a dynamic short game that someone can go to the pool and spend 1 hour watching water polo. We need to make that into a longer process. Could we invite spectators to come beforehand, mingle, maybe serve some alcohol? I'm not sure. Just kind of get them there experiencing the world of water polo, and can we maybe add a couple extra minutes between quarters, between halftime, to really engage the fans with the water polo players, with the coaches, just to get them to really interact and get to know these heroes we want to develop. And I think that we could also incorporate an experience after the game where players and coaches are required to go into the stands and sign autographs. I really think that we need to have these opportunities for fans to want to be Olympic water polo players or want to be water polo players for a long period of time. The second point that I think about is the growth of water polo and at the grassroots level. I think we should find a way, maybe FINA can find a way to get retired water polo players to do clinics around the world to help spread our sport. I think there are a lot of us that would be willing to do that to countries that do not get the exposure, do not get the ability or the chance to see high-level water polo. I think the more we are out there promoting our own sport, the more or the quicker it can grow. My third point is TV/social media. I think we need to find a way to show our game better on TV. Every 4 years when I get back from the Olympics, my friends and family always talk about the great underwater shots, the video that's underwater. We need to use that more. I think that really draws a connection to fans. But I also think that we need to be innovative and maybe have different camera angles, maybe add cameras to our goals and give the ability to producers to do instant replay. I think there's a lot that we can do in that arena, and I do think that we need to use social media a lot more. I don't know how many of you guys have tweeted about this conference. Show of hands? I have, like 5 times. So I think if we all can tap into our networks and tweet about this, tweet about water polo show videos, it can only help our sport. And I know that's really small and it's not the major changes that we're looking for, but I think it needs to start there. That's all I got.
I'm not sure if what Rick was doing was the correct protocol for a moderator, but I'll try and make one comment that came out of what Brenda said. It occurred to me that there's a lot of different opinions about how well water polo is covered by television. And certainly at the Olympic Games, we're going to be hearing from the Grand Master of television coverage of all sport in Manolo Romero, who's a great fan of water polo, about how brilliantly it's covered then. But I think that there's a problem all over the world that when you finally persuade a television company to cover water polo, they just send a very modest team to cover it and a modest budget. I think Sandro's winking at me that that's partly what he's going to be talking about. So now I'd like to pass the microphone to Johanne.
Good afternoon, everybody. So if you read my bio, you could have seen it. I've played 17 years in Canada, and I'm in my 12 years in the Pro League in Italy. So from my personal experience, I've seen too many differences in many aspects of our sport in 2 different countries. And I'm sure here present in the room, there's a lot of countries that are gonna go back home with solution, and some other maybe were far from what they're looking for here. There's a big range of differency and problem to promote water polo in each country. So I came up with 3 ideas too, like Brenda. Maybe they're a little bit weird. I think we're here to try to find concrete solution to improve our sport. So my first one was the exposure we can give to television or sponsorship is change the robe on the pool deck for the presentation to a tracksuit, an official clothing. Why? You can see the difference between a robe and official clothing with all the sponsor. Like, okay, there's sponsor on the pool deck during a big event, but I'm coming from a different country. I want to expose my sponsorship for my country. I think it's a good way to show them. my second idea would be, and I know it could bring good and bad, is to bring up to 14 people, 14 athletes on the team. Why is that? First, when a team is traveling, 14 athletes is better for training. It gives the coach on the pool deck a better opportunity to make changes. It's going to speed up the game. You have more athletes to change. You can do 6 out, 6 in. And my last thing that I would like to add to this is it has been brought in a negative way, maybe this morning with one of the other speakers, is our young people at home are playing video games. Why don't we? I know something exists on the market, but I think we can develop a video game that can explain a little bit more our game. And all these kids playing at home on their couch maybe are gonna get out and come at the pool. So these are my proposals.
Yeah, thank you, Johanne. My only comment is in relation to the extra player, the 14th player. One of the very keen tasks of the IOC is to have complete gender equality. And that, of course, would mean having 12 women's teams and adding another, that's 52 extra players and officials from the IOC's point of view. And adding a 14th player, that might be, as planners say, problematic, but I understand the point very much about being able to have training games with 14 players. Our next speaker, Boban, I sat with him last night at dinner, and I think this is a more nerve-wracking experience for him than playing an Olympic final. And he needed a bit of encouragement that his English is really good enough to make a speech in front of such an august body. But please, Slobodan, can you use that microphone? He's more looking forward to your questions, I think, than making his speech.
Okay. Hello, everyone here. It's a big honor for me to be here and to share about my experience about water polo. I think this is really important moment now because, as I understood, this is first time after 20 years that this meeting is existing again after 20 years, and now this is the perfect moment, if you ask me, that we can make some model to make our sport water polo much better than it's now. And I can suggest to everyone here from all federation, all their delegates, all FINA members, if you can make some meeting or wherever, and to help our sport. First of all, we need to find model how to bring more spectators in our games. I know that's not easy, but generally, we have to try something. As I can see, we didn't try for a long time, and I can speak now as a really water polo player that I'm still making practice every day, and I'm trying to make this sport better, that we would change something for sure. We have to make more easier for the spectators when they are coming on swimming pool to watch the games. There is, if you ask me, there is so many things that we can discuss about that. Let's talk. We can maybe talk about ball size, like to make more goals, to make water polo faster, or how to. We can talk also about calendar of water polo, because let's talk about this 2014. Like in 2 months, we have 3 big competitions. We have World League final, European Championship in Budapest, and then FINA Cup. It's really hard for one athlete to have, like in that period of 2 months, to have so much pressure and to play like 3 big competitions. And also, we have to use this. It's really good chance, and I think this conference is really good. Like as we saw from this morning, that they share the experience from other sports. And I think the best thing is if we can make some regional managers like all around the world, and to see what's the chance for our sport in Canada, in Australia, in, I don't know, in United States. As I can say, in Serbia, from my country, water polo is really famous and popular, and we are really success that we won so much medals in last 20 years. And I would like to say that we have to be together and to try. I know it's not so easy. Like, honestly, we know that water polo is playing, like, we have championships only in 10 countries, and that's really big problem for us. If we can build like some water polo clinics or some like competitions in other continents, that will be a great idea. And generally, I know that I don't have so much time, but we can discuss now. There is so many things about our sport. But if we don't sit and if we don't talk also like athletes, players, to hear from the players what we can change. Because sometimes happening that even athletes that they are playing our sport, that we like this sport, we don't understand the point of the playing. Like sometimes one referee or one organization can destroy all best things from water polo. That's why I am repeating again, we have to find the best model for our sport, to be honest, all between us here, to say this is not good, this is bad or whatever, and to find like because our sport for sure deserve a lot. And I'm really proud that because I'm a water polo player and I won so much medals, and I'm really feeling sometimes sad when I'm seeing that our sport is going down. That's why this is the last call for our sport, and I would like to see our sport like really important. As I heard like 30 years ago, 40 years, that was really important in most of the countries. That's all for me. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Boban. That wasn't so terrifying, was it? Very good. Now, Sandro, are you right?
Yeah.
Please
I'm
begin.
ready. So I signed from the work this morning and this afternoon some key words about my colleague that speak before. We have to work hard every day. Start with the basic. Sponsorship merit, we deserve it. Think big, think global, think different. Every game is an event. Game day more than a game. So what we are doing, everything what we are said before. I think we have to fight the culture of the alibi. Everybody here we complain. There is no spectators, there is no good pools, there is no sponsors. And it looks like when just a little comparison, when I came back from Greece and I went in Italy, we had the worst result ever in Rome, at home, 11th place. After 7, 8 years that we arrived, 7, 8, 9, or 10. All the environment in Italy, they say, we have no good players, we have no good coaches. The fault is the president of the federation, the president, the prime minister, the fault is Berlusconi, the fault is everybody. We were complaining. Nobody has wondering, we are playing well water polo. This is what I wonder. I start to think to create a model of the game good for us, for our characteristic. And everything does work in this model. Now we have to work, we have to think, we have to wonder. We are working well in order to achieve one sponsor, or in order to have more spectators. I think we are not working well. Everybody of us. We can do more. We have to do more. I don't like when people say, in my age, the water polo was better. It's not true. It's not true. people, they didn't understand the water polo even 20 years ago or 30 years ago. And not now because of the rules. The rules doesn't change anything. How many spectators we had 20 years ago? 10,000? 15,000? No, the same, 1,500. Now I think we can do more. We are in niche sports. Yes, we have to look forward, but we must be careful, don't go back, because we are going back if we complain all the time. And we are losing spectators, because we don't work. In the past, it was more easy to have 1,000 spectators in the pool. One newspaper the day before, Italy against Serbia, Yugoslavia. And the next days, 1,000 spectators came in the pool. Now, no, you have to bring, you have to buy spectators. You have to give something. And we are not working about it. We think, why we don't have spectators? We don't work in a promotional, in communication, in marketing. We have to work in this way in order to put our sport a little bit better. Like somebody said, growing from local audience, growing from the ground. We cannot think, we will never be like football or basketball, never. Never if it will be the fantastic rules. But we can improve, we have to increase. And we can do it. I will show you a video. Now, the video that I prepared, I started with the bad things, and I finish with the good things, okay? But the bad things are something from our national league, something in World League, and after I'll start also to show how we can work in a right way. This is an Italian championship. Go back. Okay, stop. Look, this is the pool. I can, Fabio col puntatore, poi look where is the camera of Rai TV. Why the people can see something like this? Why we don't cover? This is very bad, like it's not good image. Go from, go. Go fast. Stop. Look, they put in the pool the curtains in order to not to have the reflex of the lights, but they forgot to put in this side. Look in the post. You cannot see the post. We cannot. How people can understand? We cannot see. We are not TV sports in this way. We cannot see the games because of the reflex of the light. Okay, go. Stop. Look, many times the replay of TV is from, from down and on the back, instead to have sponsors, to have panels, we can see rubber, chairs. This is the image, our image. And look, the lights. You can see? This is the reality. Italian national team is one of the best national league in the world. Right? Everybody agree? Okay. What we sell our product. Go. This is beauty. This is what you have to share. How we can grow up. How we can stay high in the water. All the people, if you ask, do you like water polo? How you touch? How is possible that you stay in this position? Okay. Go. Stop. Look, the board. This is the board that we show. No video board. I was laughing today that in NBA, with the mobile, to show in the board that you can see the replay. This is the board. We cannot see the name. Stop. Okay, the team, they stay to say something. Look on the back, the lane. It's so difficult to bring this lane and to put in the changing room in another room. Go. Okay, this club works well because on the back, this unflattable floating structure panels, it was good. Okay, look how it's a change picture, completely picture. If we prepare everything well, go. From the other side, nothing. Look, bye. Stop. Here the coach is going, I don't know what. Look, we are on the beach. No, no, don't smile, please. I want to cry. Go. Ah, this is fantastic. What you can put some curtains. Look there. Now we want to discuss if the pressing is with two hands or with one hand. You can see? I cannot see. I am spectators, right? Okay. This is the most beautiful pool in Italy, in Napoli, Scandone, 4,000 people stands, so we can have a lot of spectators. Look, the lights. Okay, go. This is what people, when change channel and see water polo, what they can see. Is contrafoul, no contrafoul. Oh, I cannot. Look this action, go. Even if we play with drive, with movements, with everything, we cannot see. Okay. Italian Federation is one of the most stronger federation in the world. We have 2 matches per week, live TV, but we make our own goal because we don't offer anything to the spectators. This is the club that when we told them to make another panel on the back, they did something, and because we showed this video to the club at the end of the first round. Okay, go fast. Change completely picture. Stop. This is a World League. Sorry, Peter, because you agree with me, I know. So, 2 months ago, even FINA events. On the bench, the 3 officials well dressed, like FINA recommend. Same shoes, same pantaloni. No. Okay, go. No, go back. Sorry. Okay, but you can see towels, lane. Okay, go fast. This is the match of one of the best 2 teams in the world, Montenegro and Italy. This is a fantastic combination in extra men. Tell me if you can see something.
Savona per tanti anni, difensore che è cresciuto molto, guardate come invece gli azzurri possano e stiano lavorando molto bene dall'esterno, cercando di rubare il pallone che cade però al centro. Subiamo la seconda espulsione.
Fuori Matteo Aicardi, come avete potuto anche intravedere dalla grafica, uomo in più per il Montenegro, la seconda opportunità di sfruttare questo fondamentale, un ottimo giro palla, questo è Drasko Berguja.
This was goal, but I don't know. Stop. Look, in Hungary, now we start to see the positive things. This is one of the oldest pool in the world, the Komjadi pool, everybody knows. Look, it looks like an hangar, but look at the lights on the top of the floor. And look at the water. Ah, fantastic. No one reflects. This is, I can watch the game. I can. Go. Look on the back. Look, you can see the contra. You can watch exactly everything. This is against the United States. The same extra man, and you can see the goal here. It's perfect. You can see all the movement from the post, from the defender. Okay. So, stop. So, first of all, pool and looks. The first step, we have to choose the good pools or build a new pools with the right lights. FINA put some minimum looks, you know, because when pools are well, there is a well lights, you can see the match. Okay. This is the event that we prepared Italy against Germany 2 weeks ago. For 2 days we have worked in order to create a good environment. Look at the end, how it was. A lot of space. Stop. Look, FINA could be happy. Look, FINA.org in all the field. Completely changed the picture. The people were happy because they were participating in an event. We invite a lot of VIP persons. There were very good atmosphere. Okay. Okay, the lights is not so good. Look, sponsors. I'll stop and look on the back. When there is the replay, on the back panel. Okay. Look here. You can see a lot of sponsors. Look, sponsors on the back. Okay. Go fast. And a lot of spectators, they were happy. I don't think it's difficult, Cornell, to have the same setting in all the pool for all the matches. We have to create a commission that have to work about it. Almost 2,000 people were watching the game, very enthusiastic. Go fast. Fabio, vai più veloce. You can see also some good goals. Stop. Another way to improve our image is try to have space on television. Not only the games, but what we have done before Olympic Games, it was that during our preparation, I took one person with one camera to follow us for all the 2 months period. And after we have created 4 episodes of 30 minutes, that we produced it like a federation. We went to Sky TV, and Sky say, I give you free the space, but I don't want to spend any money. Okay. And we did something like this, so people can understand how they can work, how a team lives during the preparation. We say some history about the player, about the relatives. We can see. Non c'è la musica? Stop. Sette bello. Here is everybody we are speaking about brand, you know. My idea was to create a brand because we are the only national team in the world maybe that we have a name, Sette bello. And we created this brand. To be honest, the project is starting, but it's still on the desk of the president of my federation because we have internal problem because why water polo yes and no swimming and everything. So I have a problem about it. But I try to make a step also with this kind of brand. Go. La musica non c'è, eh? Non si può sentire? No music? Yeah, you can take sponsors, you know. This is an event that we did in Roma. Look at the presentation at the end of the match, because these are two key moments that we have to improve. This is a presentation with the dark pool. I know that Cornell likes to do it in swimming, and it's very interesting. The people were exciting. Two video board, one LED. We have to invest money. This is our. We have to invest money.
Ed eccolo, colui che è il mentore del gruppo, Sandro Campagna. Eccolo, colui che fa anche da uomo immagine del nostro pallanuoto e promuove lo spettacolo. È emozionato Sandro.
This is before the game. Stop. And after the game, we have to create something like rugby. They call third quarter. We can call fifth quarter. You know that the player they will stay in. We call it corners at the bello. That to make autograph photo with kids, and it's very interesting. And also, I think we can make a fifth quarter. Also, the two teams can meet. You know, in the pool to have the official dinner there. It's very boring, the official dinner before the match. After the match could be exciting. Go. And now to finish, look at 2-3 minutes of a video of London. Good pools, good looks, fantastic, many cameras, high definition. Let me see if water polo is not TV sport. I think yes. body. Okay, I think we cannot wait every 4 years to see this kind of images. We have to work every day. We can see something like this. Thank you.
Thanks for it. Hello? Hello? Thanks, Sandra, very much for the effort you went to preparing that and for the content. And I agree with your comments about the presentation in London. I haven't seen much water polo in the last few years, but I thought the presentation in London was spectacular and the best I've ever seen. I've got one question before going to questions from the floor, and one of the obvious themes that have been going through these presentations so far is that the Innovation Commission and the TWPC may make recommendations to the FINA regarding the rules and the changes in the promotion of water polo generally. And I just want to ask whether you guys are ready for changes that might occur if they have the effect of making the game more popular in the world, but maybe changing the game substantially.
I've been playing since maybe almost 30 years now, and I would say that on the part of the players, we'll adapt. So yes, we are ready, and I think in 30 years we changed some rules, but we're still here talking about this, and maybe we need something bigger.
I would agree with Joanne. I think that we all want our sport to grow. We all want to be a global sport. And if it hasn't happened in the last 20 or so years, I think athletes are willing to make changes and are excited for it. I mean, I'm a former athlete, but I can't imagine players now not being willing to help the sport grow or take us to the next level.
Coach?
There is so many things when we are talking about rules, let's say, but I think that there is some options that can help our sport. As I said before, about changing the size of the ball can be better for our sport, or like making interview of players during the game, like they're doing in NBA or in other sports. Like there is so many things and options that we can make, but I cannot see that we made any in last period. That's why if I start now with all these things, like I can say 100 different things. Also, as a player, I can understand what's not good and what we could change. That's why, like, there is so many things about calendar, about where we are playing World Championship, European Championships, and how we are organizing our championships in our countries, let's say, around the world. And if you ask me, maybe we should try with one experiment about changing some rules and to see if it's good or not good. In this way, we will never know if it's good to change or not. Because until now, I can see that in last, let's say, 10, 15 years that I'm a professional player, I can say that our really sport is not good enough and is going down. And I think we should change and we should try. Maybe I said to make some experiment. This presentation was really good by Sandro, and I never was looking these details, but they are really important for our sport. Probably you cannot see these details in any other sport. And that's the point that we can discuss, like Sandro did. Only that's what I want to say. Okay.
I don't speak about rules. I don't speak. We have to improve in this kind of in communication, in promotional, in marketing. This is the way. Everybody of us, we come back and we try to do something more in our local nations or local country.
Thank you. Okay, over to you. Andrew, do we have some microphones? Andre, the blue.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandro. Excellent presentation. Thank you, guys, for you love our sport so much, like we are too. And it was good answer to gentlemen from, sorry for brand activators, about we are not ugly sport, we are beautiful sport. Really is it is. And we believe that we have possibility now to improve, to make more attractive our sport. My question is, it's very important, first of all, to the athletes, because you are the biggest part of our business. I mean, FINA is the most important part. My question is, it's important to hear from you the answer, because Mr. Montgomery asked almost the same question, but I like to clarify it. What's wrong, by your opinion, in our sport now? What's wrong? It is a question to athletes. Maybe just the figures, like maybe water is so hot, maybe pool is so big or small, I don't know. Maybe goals, we need bigger or smaller. This is just, your opinion is very important, because all people here, mostly coaches and people who manage this sport. But this is a question to the athletes first. What's wrong?
I don't know what is wrong, but what we have to do. Now, water polo is not only summer sports like in the past, because in the summer there is the main international competition, and this is good. All the national champion leagues or World League in Europe, especially in Europe, is in the winter, right? How many pools we have in all the world, in indoor, good pools? How many spectators we can host? 1,000? 1,500? Okay, every match should be 1,500 spectators. What we have to do, we have to make promotion. I make an example. Before Italy-Germany, I went in a press conference in the municipality. I went in another press conference in the region. I went to Juventus Museum. I spoke with the president of Juventus Football Club. I went to the newspaper, Tutto Sport and La Stampa di Torino, from Torino. The next day, I will show in my iPad, was one page of interview or something, you know. I didn't prepare the match. I didn't care about technical aspects, because World League, I think, is more promotion. If we think only extra man, man down, maybe it's not my job. I do, because maybe I am a personality in Italy, I am famous. I try to give something more to my sports. We must have organization in order to achieve spectators. TV coverage. We have to find a way. I don't know, in Italy, maybe, you know, my president is strong politically and has connection with the national TV. And we have a contract that we have television for National League and for national team. But many federations doesn't have a TV contract. In the World League, we don't play many matches without TV coverage. And this is unacceptable, my opinion.
Sandro, excuse me, my question is to the athletes first. We need to know the athletes' opinion. to the
I think
ladies and to
Andrew-
again, we don't talk about environment. I don't talk about environment of our sport, about organization or promotion or TV or marketing. It's different issue. Inside the games, what's wrong inside the game of water polo? What's wrong by is your opinion? If it's everything is okay by your opinion, you can say yes. It doesn't matter. But we need to know exactly your opinion, the athletes. What do you like to change in the game?
Change, yeah.
To make a ball square, or I don't know, whatever, make cold water. We need your opinion, exactly.
I don't know if there's so much the change part, but for me as a player, I want to play under the lights and I want a full stadium. So how do we get people to games? We have to make sure that we can get spectators that understand our game. So I don't know if that's making the pool smaller, making it bigger, but we have to be able to communicate the game of water polo to an everyday person. We all understand it, our families understand it because we grew up in the water polo world. We need to simplify it for the common person so that they're in the stadiums filling them. Like my best memories are playing in the Sydney final. There were 17,000 people watching women's water polo, and that's a country that appreciates aquatic sports, so I think that helped. In the US, we have send-off games before every Olympics, and we have a stadium filled of 3,000 people, but it's a lot of work that goes into it. It's a lot of promotion, communication, it's a sellout crowd, but we picked a stadium, a venue that can be filled and has the capability of showing a great game on a great stage. So I don't have the answer in terms of like rules, balls, how big are the cage, but I think we just need to make sure everyone understands our sport and wants to come watch it, and I think it'll have like a snowball effect and everything can kind of grow around that.
To make more simple to understand for the people, you mean, yeah? Today we have many people from abroad, not from our family, I mean for the FINA family, and we know their opinion. They delivered us very clear. We are not attractive for a picture for the TV. They said clearly to us, because we understood this is the most point which we should improve.
I don't have an answer either in the way maybe you're asking. I don't know if it's the place to talk about changing rules, but what I could add to this is I think every country here has different problem and are having some issue in their country that is not the same in each country. So if everybody going back home is trying to do their best on what they're going to bring back home from this conference, and we're improving in each country, so FINA can improve the big picture after.
Boban?
If you ask what's wrong in our sport, let's say, like, first what I will say, probably it's marketing. Okay, but you ask about rules, as I understood, like what we should make in swimming pool, what we should change. Maybe we should make this ball smaller, then we will have results like handball, I don't know, 22 to 20, or it's one idea. Maybe we should reduce the field. I'm not sure, but as I said before, if we don't try something, we will not do anything, and that's my point. Also, as I said before, we have to make these spectators to understand water polo. If one referee during the game, he's whistling 1,000 times, even me as a player, I don't understand what he's whistling and what he wants. Like if it's offense foul or if it's exclusion. That's why we have to make, again, one model, like to be more easier to understand for the spectators, for the public, and even for the players, that we have so much experience, we play so many years, but sometimes we are not understanding the point of the attack or the defense, how referee will whistle and how will finish this attack or defense. That's my opinion.
Thank you. It's clear.
Good.
Alex, your answer we understood is we should put
We
our
have to ask
standards
to
more
the
higher.
spectators.
It's clear.
It's
clear.
My opinion has no value. To the spectators, this morning they say the spectators have to know the sports. We have to ask them. Maybe they want to see blood. I don't know. We fight every time. Maybe to have more sponsors, more spectators, why not?
Thank you, Alex.
Peter.
Any other questions? There's One from Mr. Jafas. Thomas.
Yes, I think that is not the best time to discuss the rules, but I have only a theoretical question. What is the future of water polo in your interpretation? The untouchable play as a basketball, that's the way, or the violence as a rugby? Because if you choose violence, that's only a question. I think that would be popular for the spectator knowing the reaction. So what is the future of the water polo in that subject?
For my opinion, I think everything that we have done in the last years is to be more fast the sports. You know, the point is that we have a big contact and we cannot move easy in the water. You know, so now what I liked in the last change of the rules is you cannot have pressing with two hands. Okay, we only one hands, because with two hands you cannot move. You could see all the time
Grabbing
something
like
like this,
this.
grabbing. You remember? Or some coaches are teaching to one hand here.
You should say, I have a question from Twitter.
You cannot move.
You should be the first one to start.
You cannot. You cannot. With one, maybe with ability, more technique, you can make something. And we can see there are players like Denis Varga, Denis Prelajinovic, many fantastic players that they can make some fantastic movement. You know. So first of all, referees, this is the main rules in the European club competition. I didn't see something like this. I see fighting, you know. So we have to respect this. I like these rules.
Doesn't know that.
You cannot make pressing with two hands, only one. Okay, what at the beginning, the fault is also the coaches or the players, because we prefer not to receive goals, and we say, make a better an exclusion than receive a goal. So players may, so the referees at the beginning, there are 30 exclusion, please. Or if you play hard, put out immediately with for violence, let's say, for technical, you know, in order to give something strong. Because my opinion is not whistle too much, but if this means hard game, it's difficult. Understand what I mean?
Thomas, before asking the ladies to comment, if I might, as a moderator, make a comment, I would think that increasing the violence in water polo would be a very negative step. We are talking about globalising the sport, making the sport attractive for parents to recommend the sport to their kids, for their kids to want to play it, and on a global basis. And I think that whilst an increase in violence might be exciting for some elite matches in the world, all the way down to the children and up to the masters, increases in violence will have a negative effect on our game. And you were a winner of one of the most violent games ever played, I recall, in the Barcelona. Well, ladies, are you in favour of violence, or more violence or less violence?
No, if I can add something on what he just said, is athletes are spending hours and hours at the pool training, and what about our referee? Is it about the rules, or it's maybe training the referee? Maybe they need more time at the pool learning to do their job, so maybe that can help them to be more clear when they're doing it. That's
Peter.
I wouldn't want our sport to be more violent. I know that's a question that I've had to answer to a lot in the media. Like, your sport is so violent, that is really cool. But when I'm out there doing grassroots stuff, I want to be able to communicate to parents and tell parents of a 5-year-old girl, 7-year-old girl, don't worry, your daughter's not going to get hurt. She's trying to play this sport. There's so much, you know, athletic ability in it. You swim, you have great leg strength. There's so much more to it. I think maybe something to think about is, can we have I don't know, like the UFC is really popular. Is there any way to have a branch of water polo that's more violent for people that like that sort of thing? But personally, I think it shouldn't be. If we want to grow our sport and we grow our sport bottom up, we want young kids in the sport and we need their parents to sign them up for water polo.
Any other questions?
Peter? Peter?
Mr. Montgomery.
Okay, so Gerge Čurka from Press Commission.
Montgomery.
Covered other team sports as well, and we know the success of basketball, ice hockey, football is of course sky high, and also handball is coming up, and making a comparison that all these other team sports, ball sports with physical contact is played for scoring primarily. Scoring and personal fouls or exclusions are happening just because of the game style. But in water polo, not only scoring, but earning exclusion first and then scoring, or at least it's as important as scoring to earn exclusion. And probably it's a case of understandability that the people can't understand that why a team playing for earning exclusion and then scoring, that it should be as it is because it's our play like this, or can it be changed in the future? That is my question.
Okay, I didn't answer before how I can see our sport in the future. I can see like with results 20-18 winning of some team, and I can see like spectators happy with highlights on the video beam, every movement followed, and I can say maybe I can see in future like some cameras that they are going under the water and up the water, following every move, that you can see like every grabbing for speedos or every punch, because it's not so easy sport generally, and that's how I can see our sport in 5 or 10 years, let's say. And maybe the good idea is like to don't make so much whistles during the game. If we let like more shooting, more like to don't be so much contact and so much aggressive. In that way, we can show more shots on the goal, maybe 25-30% more during the one game. If you don't have like 30 exclusions, let's say, we can make like if it's one foul, that means second foul can be exclusion generally, and then that's chance for the team to score. But if we have results like sometimes happen in water polo, 5-4 winning one team, and not interesting for the spectators, then we are losing the point. And that's why when I'm saying that we have to watch in the future how we can make our sport better. And that's for sure with a lot of goals, a lot of actions, not too much contact, not too much grabbing, and like with marketing that we say that Sandro was showing like this with small details, and that if one game can be 1 hour and a half, not 45 or 50 minutes, that can be much better for our sport.
Thank you. In relation to the question from our Hungarian friend, I think he was saying...
meu Deus do céu.
I think he was saying that in the other team ball sports, tell me if I've got it wrong, but you were saying that in other team ball sports, the main emphasis is trying to score a goal, not necessarily to try and secure a foul to get an advantage.
Okay.
That,
Hello?
and are you recommending that that should be... Yeah, I know, Karasi, you're next.
Yeah, no?
You're next.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
There was an earlier question from this gentleman sitting next to Danish. So that was a comment, I think, really. It was a comment about the rules, really, rather than a question of the panel. Now, our host from Rio in 2 years' time, Karasi, is ready to tell us how we will look after us in Rio.
Thank you, Montgomery. Thank you. I think that there is no more important meeting in the history of FINA for water polo than this. I apologize my poor English, please. But I think that the meeting is a right hour to introduce new ideas. And I'd like to know what opinion is the athletes, coach, and another athlete about it. I think that the FINA has many little countries, many little countries, and they not spread in all the world. Because we have one league. It is always is the same. Always is the same. Is Italy, is Hungary, and now with the Yugoslavia divided in 3 countries, there is no chance for the other countries, Udrak. And I think that the FINA must be cry 2 divisions, like soccer, like basket, like volley. 2 divisions. 1 division, 12 countries. Another division, 12 countries. The 2 last in your division pass for the other division. Who wins the divisions pass to the you movement 24 countries that some of countries never participate in nothing of FINA, in my opinion. I'd like you know your opinion, and the famous coach that about this idea. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Karasi.
Hey, it's difficult for a small country, but the only way is to have a national league, to have more practice, good coaches. So call me. No. It's difficult also. Also for us, it's difficult.
How would it function if we had 2 divisions? Help me how would they compete? Would there be a world championships where there's a division A and a division B, or how would it work? So I can give you my opinion. I don't quite. So how would this, I mean, we're talking about FINA, but on the world stage.
12 count another division, more weak. They count more weak, another division.
Yeah, I would understand the split and having to be promoted up and down.
And the FINA has a chance to movement much more countries than today. Today is 11. It's 11, 12, no more. It's all the same. When the Yugoslavia divided for 3 countries, minus 3 countries participate.
President, first of all, you have to start with the young development program, very young. Why? 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. Because with 8 years, 9 years, if you play against Italy or Serbia, maybe you can win at the beginning. If you start the program at 13, 14 years, you will lose 10 goals immediately, because we have a national program that in 13 years, 14 years, 15 years, they play 40, 50 matches per year already. So the national leagues for young categories, you have to start from, children. And after you have to think in a different way. After you have to think the national team. For us, it's difficult. It's the same. It's difficult. Do you know why? Because of the young, when they finish the program of the young categories, it's very difficult to go inside of the national team or in the first division in the club. Because now...
You agree with the 2 divisions? Do you agree?
Yes, I am agree. Yes. Yes, I am
Bravo.
agree.
Bravo, Sandro.
I agree.
Now I've been given the wind-up signal by...
Peter, one last question. Peter?
Thank you, Karasi. I hope that made it clear for you. We've got one Twitter from Russell there.
Don't call me a twit. No, we've just got one question here on Twitter asking each of the athletes if they've played a different style of water polo, and if so, what they felt about it. I presume this is alluding to either five-a-side, four-a-side, beach, water polo, or whatever.
Was that Australian-New Zealand question clear? Have you played different? Have you played different types of water polo with different numbered players in the teams?
I actually had the, I guess, opportunity to play 5-on-5 at a junior world championship, the first ever junior world championship for women in Canada in '95. The rules were 5-on-5, and if you were ejected, you swam to the ejection box and you came back in. I had a lot of fun playing those rules. There was a lot of open water, you created a lot of things, and that was one of my first major international experiences, so I enjoyed it, but also had to go back to adapting to regular 6-on-6. So, I mean, like Johanne said earlier, athletes adapt to what is placed in front of us.
Any other comments? Okay, well, that's going to wind up this session. On behalf of the athletes, I'd like to thank the Mexican Jesus Mena and the President for the invitation and hospitality here, and also the FINA and the FINA Bureau for hosting us here. And I'd like, on behalf of you, to thank the athletes for making the effort to come here for this presentation.